Hi, it's Nick, Lime Green Squid again. I've got this notepad that I found of a response to some video. I don't remember what video it is. Maybe I'll find it and link it to the side. But it's a response to 6 questions to be an atheist. It was a video made by a Christian, and their, jaded arguments about why someone should be an atheist from a Christian's perspective. Well, let's start off with them. The first one, I just wrote notes here. Again, I'm going to be reading from a notepad. And I wrote the note about the question. I didn't write the questions themselves, or the reasons themselves. It says something about big-name scientists being Christian. I'm not sure which ones he named or she named or whatever. But here's my answer. Just because there are a few intelligent Christians today and in history doesn't make Christianity any more of an intelligent stance. Atheists, he's mentioned something about atheists trying to be superior. Superior is an ugly word. We don't care so much about being the best. We only want to be factual. If a God comes down to tell us he exists, then we will say that that God exists and is factual. So due to the lack of that sort of evidence, we can only have one logical stance. Especially when people start trying to prove God by looking at nature, when all true scientists know that nature proves evolution far more thoroughly than a magical being who said poof. Something about atheism is all about pessimism, while Christianity brings hope. But atheism doesn't? Christianity brings hope to other Christians within the same denomination only. It brings discrimination, unfair prejudice, and exclusionism to anyone who has a different opinion about the origins of the universe that are no less wrong than Christianity is. The Bible itself has many passages about distrusting those who question the beliefs, from kill them all to they are doing the work of the devil. It's set up so that Christians who pay attention to their Bible are already mentally against any form of factual evidence that contradicts their fantasy. Why would anyone want to teach people to close their minds like that, to control them? As for hope, atheists do have hope. We have to hope that the world will wake up from its religious shackles and realize that we are all humans in the end, and to love and care for each other rather than waste our time finding some invention of a god or another to have reasons to hate each other. Only by showing love to the humans and animals that actually exist can we stop this pointless divisiveness and focus on the true moral crises, like world poverty when one country has enough money and resources to run 3 Earths. Seems to make an assertion about atheism being faith. The only faith we have is that we believe there are no gods. There doesn't need to be faith for this, except for that so many people try to convince us that there are gods. We somehow have to turn it back on them and claim they are wrong, since no one knows the absolute truth. It has become a faith. I don't believe fairies exist, but I don't have to have faith in that. Why should I need to admit faith in disbelieving something that clearly does not give us any indication that it is there, such as the gods? Lots of areas science cannot explain. You have to add yet. I guess his argument was there are lots of areas in science that science cannot explain. You have to add the word yet. Just because people didn't know how to fly in 1460 doesn't mean that humanity will never learn how to fly. Oh wait, we do know how to fly. Wow, science couldn't explain it in 1460, but it sure can now. Science accepts certain gaps in our understanding. Knowing and accepting that we do not know absolutely everything is far more noble and far less insane and far more intelligent than just running back to the pacifier of a god just because it is more comfortable. The evidence just isn't there for a god. We people of science just want to move on and deal with the things that are actually here with us that we can deal with. Says something about an argument of communism, but I was saying that that the communism argument can be used tenfold on religion. It was not communism that killed those millions of people. It was the people in power being corrupted by the power, which happens all too much in the religious world and any hierarchical system. The rule and the obedience takes priority over making yourself one with your fellow humans and the universe. When your religion does that, you should know to get the fuck out. The only difference between communism and religion is that communism doesn't have a specific rule book instructing us to kill homosexuals and kill people who work on the Sabbath day, to destroy towns of unbelievers and rape their women and dash their children's brains out in front of their mothers because they don't share the same religious opinion as you do. And Jesus denounced none of these actions, by the way. And like one of my favorite sayings goes, most Nazis were German, but that does not make most Germans Nazis. Just because some communist and fascist regimes believed in suppressing religion doesn't mean all atheists or communists are fascists. In fact, Hitler encouraged religion, both as his personal belief and as a tool to manipulate the masses in his favor. So watch out for the George W's out there too. The Christian religious system has far more similarities to fascism than any other group in the world. Says something about where's the atheist moral compass, or atheists don't have a moral compass. Our moral compass is don't do things that hurt others in ways that we understand, given our own life experiences or human rules passed down from parent to child to society before religion was even invented. Simple enough. We know what it's like to be hurt. We all grow up hurting things and people, and to see what happens. And we also get hurt ourselves, and we learn what it means to be hurt. Our human empathy, an evolutionary trait that helped us survive as a species, will kick in, and we realize being hurt hurts, and that we shouldn't do it to others. Thus, the beauty of our brains. We can record and reteach word for word rules of wisdom passed from our animalistic history. Of course, there will always be strays, people who don't experience the empathy, nor are taught right from wrong. But what does that have to do anything with religion, or being atheist, or being religious? It's human biology, plus experience, plus environment, plus parental mentor guidance, plus whatever luck happens to bring to the person's life experiences. Atheism doesn't discourage polygamy. Well, first of all, what does this have to do with being religious or atheist? We don't discourage, some of us don't discourage polygamy, some of us probably do, I don't know, because we think people have the right to choose who they love, and on what scale, as long as it's consensual and, everyone's an adult. Besides, we figure that because of human hormones and survival instinct, polygamist relationships probably won't last for long anyway, so why not let our fellow monkeys have fun while they can? And if they do work out, you'll find that the love bond between them is far stronger than the majority of Christians who are married. Why does Christianity hate love so much? Polygamy, homosexuality. I thought love was supposed to be God's middle name. Saying something about an atheist cult. No, we're not a cult. Just because enough people with the same mindset see a need to start gathering together to bear the brunt of the religious bigotry and discrimination storm doesn't mean that we're forming a cult or worshiping a man for teaching us not to worship God. No, that's religious thinking. Just because you can't think outside of that mindset doesn't mean everybody else can't either. No, what's happening is that intelligent people around the world are starting to wake up and say, that's enough, I'm not alone anymore. There are other people who see through the bullshit like I do, and that it's okay for me to think this way. There's nothing more liberating for a person enslaved to in the mind, not allowed to express our different opinion or fear of discrimination or outright blacklisting by those who hold popular opinion as law, to know that there are others who think the same way you do among those people. Naturally, people who think alike will want to get together and discuss what they think. Richard Dawkins is not someone to be worshipped. We don't worship him at all. We don't worship anything. Worship is his religious practice. We respect him, and respect is totally different from worshiping. And we appreciate what he's doing because he's speaking openly the words we've all been saying to ourselves all these years, and have feeling alone in the world of mind-controlled zombies to religion. He's let it be known that it's okay to have a different perspective of the universe. No one should be shunned or made fun of or given a hard time in life by others just because he or she has a different opinion on a subject no human has any 100% knowledge about yet. Christianity is happy to sit at 0% knowledge, claiming 100% knowledge about it, and that it's all there is to know, and that there's nothing else to be learned. Science sits at they understand about 0% of all universal knowledge, but we accept that we're still learning and growing and figuring out what makes the universe tick. We only want the facts. When the facts aren't there, there's no point in further discussing the matter until the facts can be found. I.e. God. We want to stop discussing him now because no new evidence has been presented, and the case to this point is as weak as a wet toilet tissue. In this way, placing faith in a God over your fellow man is irrational superstition that takes the focus away from what we're doing here and now, and places it on an imaginary plane for people to look to while ignoring the actual suffering they're causing or enabling by not watching where they're stepping down here in reality.